Okay. Okay, so before that, let me kind of uh, quickly do couple of changes. There was one relationship which I have kind of wrongly connected, so maybe I was just doing it a little fast. I was If you want to know what is the relationship between each table, so it's also an exercise where you could also understand how you can debug on a table. For example, I'll quickly try to move certain things and make some space so that it becomes easier to see everything. Now, for example, there is a relationship between these two, that product key and product key, that's correct. If you want to see is that correct, you can just double click this arrow. What you can see here, you can just double click here, it will be product key, it's correct, so that's okay. So you can just click cancel. So next, for example, if you want to see the product key here and here, it's correct, and then you can just leave it. So there is also a relationship established between territory key 1 2 3 4 sales territory key, and there is also a territory key here, so that you can see here and that you can close it. There is also a product. So there is a product category key. So there is this product category key, that one and this one, it's matched. It is okay. Product category key, it is to connect to product, not product, it should be connected to 6, and that is, just give me a minute, product categories, and here product category key, yes, okay, these two are connected. And next, one last thing which we wanted to connect is you can see here this connection was wrong. So in that case, you have to just remove this active, and you can make it, the connection between these two gets removed. Next, what you have to do is, there is a product subcategory key between, so this, yeah, here there is a relationship which was wrongly connected. Product subcategory key and product subcategory key has to be correctly connected here, and then you have to click OK. Then all the data is now connected correctly. So there was a mistake due to which the connection was not happening properly. So now let's go back to the pivot. I think you were not able to see the pivot previously, right? So what I will do is I will kind of delete all these things, and I will do once again. Delete. Okay. So is this screen now visible? And now I will quickly create a pivot, and let's see whether you are able to see that screen. So let me come back to the data view. Let me quickly go to the pivot table. And let me existing sheet, let me select the column as A3. Okay, so you're able to see the pivot table with the pivot table fields on the right side. Now it is visible, right, Amoda? So now, okay, perfect, thanks for confirming. So now what you have to do is, first let's see what was the total sales. For that, I will just go to this sales table, and I just go bring the sales and drop it here. I will get the total sales. So I will quickly edit this in terms of separation, and this is the total sales. Next, let me bring the profit. I just drag the profits also automatically sums. Next, let me calculate how many orders we have received. So that is basically how many number of what do you call, if I count the number of order numbers, so that becomes my number of orders. And the last thing is I want to know this, how many number of customers we have, how many customers this year we had. For example, I can't sum the customer key, so that's where you can see here I cannot sum. I have to count the customer, so I cannot sum the customer key. So what you have to do is you have to go in the right hand side bottom. There is this value field setting. In the value field setting, if you click here, you instead of sum you have option called as count, and then you click OK. So this is the total number of customer key. So here, okay, so since the order number and the customer are same, maybe I'll remove the number of, I'll remove this one. Maybe I'll try to bring how many products we have sold. So maybe the product keys, again here you can see it is the number of, this one is coming. So I just go and I will just count. I'll just click count and whatever. So that's also same. Maybe I'll just pull out the odd, or how many products were sold. We can bring in the order quantity. You can see the summation of that one. So now we have this as one pivot table. So now if I want to get this information for a continent, instead of creating a different pivot table, what I can do is I can just copy this and I can just paste it in a different column. The same thing will come. So now I have to just adjust some of the fields over here. So I have to just, for example, I just remove here, and then instead of order quantity, I will bring in, say, from territory, I will bring in country. If I click country, you can see very well the total number of orders, profit, sales from each country is now visible here. Okay. And here at the bottom, if you want total, you can keep it, or else you can go to this pivot table design. You can on off the row and column total and all those things you can do here, that you can see in this design option. So let me come back to this. Now I will also copy this once again, copy, or else I will copy this table once again. Now we saw it for country. Maybe now I will bring it for instead of country, I will bring it for a product category name. You can see now the product category name was coming. Previously there was an error, so that we fixed the error, and now you can see that we are the different product category, and then we are having this with us. Next is we can what we could also do is we could create a chart on every quarter what was the sales. For example, for that, first to create a chart we have to now have this. So instead of this one, let me go to the sales table. I have the order date. From the order date, let me bring in the okay. Sorry, I think I messed up something. I'll just remove everything. I wrongly selected this one. Okay, so now let me bring the order date. I bring it in the row. In this, I just keep the year, and I remove the month, and I remove the date. And next I just bring the sales, that is the sum of sales, and I just show the profit. So now here I also have the quarter one, each quarter wise. If I want, I can show it, or else I can just show it. If I want to show each year column, all that also I can show, or else I can just show what do you call year on year, what was the sales, that also I can show. This, what I could also do is I could also create, if I go to, there is an option here, pivot table analyze. There is an option called as pivot chart. I can click a pivot chart for each year, what was the profit and what was the sales, all these details are coming here. You can see here like this, from this data I am able to prepare. So this is the activity what we did right now. Until now, if you see, we took the data from different Excel sheet, different data sources, then we connected. Now we did analysis to get for each year what was the sales, what was the profit. For each country, what was the sales and what was the profit and how many orders were received. All these data we were able to do that. So now with this data, it sometime presenting this, it does not look very good. So now that is the reason what you could also do is we can create a dashboard. Okay, maybe quickly I'll show you how you can create one dashboard quickly. So this is a plain Excel sheet. What you could do is, maybe I will do some basic cleanup. So now for these two sheets, so whatever the lines what you see here, no, these lines are called as grid lines. If you don't want to see the grid lines, you can just go to view and then you can just uncheck the grid lines, and all the grid lines are disappeared. So now what you can do is, now for example I come here, I just select up to row 30 or 40, up to 40. I just change the color to something like, I'm creating this a color, and then for example I'm creating a heading. So this I give another color where I also mention, for example, retail sales dashboard. So now for example, if I want to take this in between, for example, I will first increase the font size. Okay, before that I increase the font size to 14, and next what I will do is I will move this to, say, okay, so maybe I will, okay, so now this, if I have to center, I can merge and center. This is one option I have. Okay, merge and center, this way I can get this in the center. There is also another option which I will teach you today. This, you can go here in the font here, and next in the alignment you can go to horizontal and then centered across selection. If you do that, it will just center across the selection and it will come and sit here. And then if you want, you can do it in any different manner. This is one of the ways you could do that. Okay, so now this is there. So now what I will do is I will quickly make bring in few shapes. Okay, bring in few shapes here where I will try to display the, I will try to add, I will bring here the total orders, total customer, all these things I will bring it. Okay, so now if you see here, I will, all are in different disoriented. So what I'm trying to do is I will try to align all these shapes. So you can go to shape format. So this just a formatting shortcuts which I will, which I'm trying to share. Select all the different format. For example, if this is there in different places, if I want to bring it in same line aligned, so just what I have to do is I have to just click control and select all, then I align everything to the middle, and align everything, also align distribute horizontally. You can see the spacing is uniform and everything is aligned. So now then slowly I can take it and bring it in. Now this will look very nice. Okay, so now what I have to do here is that value. For example, here I want to bring the sales value. Okay, maybe I'll quickly bring in those shapes and then I will put those things, then it will look very nice. I will try to bring no background, I will have no fill, and then I will put it total sales. Maybe it is in US dollars, so I will put it US dollars itself. Sorry for okay, so now you have this. Okay, so now okay, there is a border in this shape. I will remove the border for that, no outline. So now what will happen is this is the total sales. This and this I will align it centrally. Okay, so now it is aligned centrally. I just copy this to different and then I will bring it to all the things. You can see here. So now maybe quickly I will try to align it, align centrally, align centrally, align centrally. And next is now I will try to align all these things in a straight line so that it looks very good. Align everything, align in the middle. You can see now everything is at one line. So this is how you can do the formatting in which will look very good. So now so the first column will be the sales, the next column would be the profit, and the third column will be the total orders, and the last one will be the total products. So now the value whatever is there in this analysis one, it has to come here. Okay, so now to just what I will do is I will now bring it here with another shape. I will bring another shape here. You can see I will bring another shape here. But sorry, I bring a text box here. So now I will try to for this I will first remove the background with the format shape format. I remove no fill and I will remove no outline, so that here what you have to do is the value in that table in that column which is there here, that has to come here. So what will happen is I can just make it equal to, and if I click here it will not come. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to just go to this formula bar and you have to type equal to, you have to type this one. So if you click here, what it happens is it will bring the pivot data here. So if you do this, if you enter, it will bring an error. Okay, so you should not do that mistake. So what you have to even actually do is you have to just, you can see the error that is coming. So instead you have to you have to bring the table alone. So you have to bring the data from the table alone. If you try to bring the data from the table alone from column A3, that if you press enter, you can see that is sum of sales. Okay, we want what is there in A4. So you can see here, now the value what was there here is now visible here. So maybe quickly we can, what we can do is I will quickly align these two, align centrally, and then the data inside whatever is there, I will try to edit, select the data, I will place it centrally. Maybe I will also increase the font. So now this looks pretty good. I will also change the color to white. Okay, so now you can see how nicely it looks. Seeing like this and seeing like this, it will be very nice. And now for example, now quickly I will try to make this, I will edit the values eventually. So now I've brought here, maybe here, instead of A4, it is in profits is in B4 column. I select enter B4, and then the total orders is there in C4. I make it C4, and I go make it D. So now the colors have changed. So here what I can do is I can double click the format printer. I can just click here, I can just click here, I can just click here. The same format is replicated. So now here you can see all the things. I will now try to what do you call, I will first distribute it, align it. Okay, so now you can see how how neatly it looks like. Why can't we copy the numbers and paste it, sir, from... Okay, good question, Nandakumar. But are you going to do the analysis only one time? If you want to do it multiple time, and if you want to see the data for different thing, if I am building now this data, this dashboard what we are building is for dynamic dashboard. Basically we want this dashboard to keep changing as and when a new order is booked. So we want this not to be a static one. We want to build a dynamic dashboard so that if we want to change anything, all the data from different places what we have connected, that gets changed. If I copy that, then it becomes static. In order to make it dynamic, that's the reason I'm connecting from that column. Okay, there is also a reason. For example, if I want to filter for any specific country and see what was the business, then what will happen is this has to be dynamic. I will explain about the slicers which will help us to filter the data, and which will help us to make this data even more, this dashboard even more interesting in the coming slides or in the next few minutes. Nandakumar, is your question and clear? Okay, clear. So now we want this, as I mentioned, this one to be dynamic. So now we created pivot table for this one, say countries. So what we will do is we'll quickly create a, country, sales, profit and orders. So we will make it centered, and we will also make it aligned, and we will also make it with some bold colors. Okay, so we will try to bring it in the same way we will do it for what do you call, we will do it for the other one was for the product categories, product category. So now the same way how we did for this, what we will do is we'll try to bring the data from the same here. You can see here, we'll bring the country, we'll click, you can see here now it's kind of coming here, and then you can drag it. Okay, so now this is delete, and then you can make this as a grand total, just bold it, and you can also put borders to this. I'm also connecting this to accessories, and then just drag it. So there is also an option, for example, if I want to drag it towards the right and drag it towards the down, there is also a shortcuts. Okay, so the shortcuts is basically control R is right and control D is down. Okay, you can try this shortcut also. And at the end of today's session, what I will also do is there is Microsoft Excel shortcuts published by Microsoft itself, I will share that shortcuts document also, which would be helpful for you. Okay, so that also I will do it after this session. So now if you have to want to make any changes to this data, whatever is available here, you can just click on this, and click on this, and then I just will bring a separator to show lakhs, millions and thousands. It will become easier for everyone to differentiate. Okay. Okay. And below I will try to bring a one graph. What do you call? I will also try to, just give me a minute. In the pivot table, I will also try to bring in the, what do you call, sales. I will remove this order here, and I will try to bring the order date, and here I will keep what do you call, I will remove the month, and I will remove the order date, and then you can very clearly see just year and quarter is available. And then if you want this quarter to come next to each other, maybe I will quickly go to the pivot table, analyze. I click here, and then there is this report layout, show. So here you can see, here you have the quarter wise detail also is visible in this one. So now here in this you can see year on year data and quarter on quarter data is also there. So now what I will do is I will try to use this. I will remove the legend. I will remove the I will keep the access. Okay, before that I will remove. Okay, so now each year, quarter on quarter, what is the sales, everything. Maybe I'll change the heading as just sales. Okay, and then I'll just keep it. Okay, so now I will take this into the dashboard, and I will paste it here so that this will look even more nice. So now when I look at each quarter wise, what is the sales, all those things are there in this graph also for the last 3 years. Okay, so here I will put a heading, and I will just sales and profit over the quarter on quarter. Okay, so now this I will merge it and center it. So now this is, you can see the different types. We have all the card type of a thing, and then you have a country, and then you have a graph. So now we have to make it dynamic. So now, for example, with this, if I want to know what was the sale only in one of the month, what is the sale in another, if I want to filter out the data for only one specific things, for that we need some filters. In Excel, these filters are called as slicers. Okay, so now, for example, what I have to do is, to get the slicers, I have to slicers are basically how you can slice the data and get only the limited set of data what you are looking for. That's the slicers all about. So now here you have this, you have to click in any one of the pivot table box in the next, in this sheet, and then you go to pivot table analyze, and there is something called as insert slicer. Okay, so now what I will do is I can either do here. So maybe what slicer I can bring is, maybe I can bring in Okay, maybe I will not bring in this. I will now, whatever I clicked in this table was only the active. But if you want to see all the different tables, I have, you have to click all on this right hand side, and then you can see the different what do you call, different options. So now, for example, I will try to bring in based on product, or else I will bring based on continent is one slicer. Next is I will bring one slicer on country, and then what do you call, I will try to bring it based on gender is one thing which I will try to bring in, and basically, okay, based on marriage status. Okay, these four, just for example, I'm just picking four slicer, and you can see there are four slicers that has come like this. Okay, but these four slicers are not connected. Okay, so what I will do is I will quickly take this slicers to the dashboard, and I will make it look. So I brought it here, and I will put it here like this. Okay, so now, so this is one slicer, and where is the next one? I will bring the next one here, next one here. So maybe I will just keep it here and just keep it here. Okay, and next is, this is another one, and then I select it, and then I select the last slicer. Now, so now this looks a fantastic dashboard. So you can see here, this is a dashboard. So now if I, for example, if I want to see the sales in Europe, if I click Europe, only the first row is changing, the other row data is not changing. So now what it also means is that there are different pivot table available, but it is not connected with all the slicers. So that's why it's not filtering. If you see, this filter is happening only to the first row alone, it is not happening below. For that, what you have to do is you have to go to the slicer, or else for example, you have to go to pivot table again, and then you have to go to pivot table, and there is something called as filter connections. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to so here what you have to do is you have to build the dashboard based on this. You have to select the connections. So when you start doing this, the dashboard and the pivot table will get connected. So you have to go to each pivot table, and you have to select this filter connections, and you have to select filter connections and click each pivot table, go to filter connections, and you have to enable everything, so that when you go to the first page, all your slicers will get connected. So now if you see here, previously only when I selected Europe, only the top row was getting filtered, the others were not getting filtered. But now you can see not only the country, the accessory values also are now filtered, and also what do you call, you can see the below this table is also filtered. So now, for example, if I see for married people or single people, I can just click it. You can see this data got changed, and then you can see here also data got changed. For example, if it is male, female, if I select it, accordingly the values are changing. Female, and accordingly the value is changing. Maybe, for example, if you want to see the values also, I will quickly add. For example, I will add the data labels so that you can see. Okay, 1 minute, data label inside the, okay, so now you can see here, for example, I change it to male, it gets changed. If I change it to female, it gets changed. If I want to see only for Germany, only the Germany value comes. Or else if I want to filter out, I can just go clear the filters, and then you can see. Now, as a business leader, as a CEO of an organization, I will be interested to look at this, not the Excel data. If I want to see what is the business that is, what is the sales that is happening in Europe, I will just click one button and I have all the information, which all are the product categories, each country wise how much is the business that is happening, and quarter on quarter whether the business is growing or going down, year on year 2017, 18, 19 wise whether the business is growing or going down. All these things I'm able to get it in one single view itself. So that is the importance of data analyzing, data analytics. And now with this he will be able to see clearly, see, okay, as a CEO the business is going down in Europe, so he will now start thinking of what action he should take. Should I bring in more discount? Should I relook into the prices? What all are the reason? He will start analysis. So that's where these analysis or the analytics will help to impact his business decision. That's why it is called as business analytics also, as I explained in the starting. And this entire process what we did is also called as business intelligence through a business intelligence tool, Excel. Okay, so that's in short how we can build a dashboard in Excel. Any questions till now with respect to this? Or is it clear with respect to how you can build a dashboard, interactive dashboard in an Excel, and how we can make it dynamic as well? Amoda and Nandakumar, is it clear? Any questions? Perfect. Are you learning something? Is the class interesting till now? Whether you were aware of these things in the past, whether you are learning something new right now, maybe 1 or 2 minutes we can take, and then after 2-3 minutes we can jump on to the next topic, that is the Power BI. Nandakumar, Amoda, any quick words? Okay. Nandakumar, you are able to hear us? Okay. So maybe now we will get on to our next tool, that is Power BI. Give me a minute. Now I'm switching on to another screen basically to give a brief about Power BI, and then let's after giving a, I knew about pivot table, but building a dynamic dashboard is a new thing for me. Fantastic. Thanks for sharing that, Amoda. And Amoda, a quick question. Whether you are able to understand like the importance of a dynamic dashboard, and how it can have, or how it can have a business impact, since you are already working. You're able to understand and make difference out of that? Okay, so now let's quickly get on to the next topic, that is the Power BI. Yes, exactly. You can share insights, because just with Excel you cannot have insights or create insights. So that's where it becomes very interesting to build such interactive dashboards. Okay. Good. So now let's get on to the next topic, that is Power BI. Power BI is a Microsoft tool, and it is one of the leading business intelligence tool in the market. And trust me, today if you know Excel little bit, and then if you are expert in Power BI alone, will be able to fetch you a job. And what do you call Power BI is one of a very advanced business analytics tool, amongst the various other tools which I discussed at the start. So here you can see, here you will be able to build a live dashboard. That's the beautiful part. There is also something, you can access the data fast, means you can access these data in the mobile or in the tablet or in the laptop. In all the formats you will be able to access. Apart from that, you are also able to Power BI as a Microsoft tool, they are continuously evolving, and today they have got one of the largest adopted business analytics software in the world. That's also a reason there where it is also growing. So let me quickly explain you how the environment of the Power BI looks, and let's quickly see on the Power BI architecture. So here, if you see, the data sources can be multiple, like what we discussed. It can be a SQL server, it can be Excel, or it could be IBM server, or it could be a Oracle server. All these servers, including Excel, what I mentioned, all these things you can connect it to Power BI desktop. Power BI desktop, the software I will show you in a while. I will also drop you the link to download the Power BI at the end of the session. At the end of the session, you could download the Power BI desktop application from Microsoft Windows. It's a free of cost, and then you could build interactive dashboards like what I showed you, and then you could also share it. If you want to share the Power BI desktop, whatever you build, you need a Power BI service license to share it with others. Okay, you can share it. This is a cloud. If you need a license for which you will have to pay on a monthly basis, and then you get license to Power BI service, and then whatever you publish from the Power BI desktop, the dashboards, you can see it in your laptop, mobile, or in iPad. Not only you can share these things with everyone else in your organization, and they will also be able to see that. It's not just that. So now the Excel dashboard what we build right now, only you can see, no one else can see. The others can see only if they have access to this Excel file. So that's the drawback with Excel. So that's the gap with which the Power BI brings in. The Power BI has the cloud service. They also have a, within an organization, if you don't want to have this license, you can go with they will have a organizational level license that is called as Power BI report server, and then through that also you will be able to access all these dashboards. So now quickly going back, so this is how the interface of Power BI desktop looks like. This is the interface of a Power BI service. This is how you can see the same dashboard in the form of in the mobile. Okay, so now I will take you through the environment of Power BI, but before that let me quickly explain. As I mentioned, there is a different data sources are available. This is connected to the Power BI desktop. Then you can publish, if you want to share this data with others in the organization, you have to publish this data, and this data will be in the cloud, that is the Power BI service. Now you build it once and you will publish it, but every time there is some changes in the data has to refresh automatically, or it has to be dynamic. For that purpose, you have to connect your Power BI desktop Power BI desktop with the Power BI gateway. That you, for this also is an additional software which you have to install, which will enable you to access these dashboard in mobile, laptop, or in iPad, or in different modes. So this is in short the different what do you call different components of Power BI. So now what we will do is the dashboard what we built right now in Excel, the same dashboard we will try to build it in Power BI, because Power BI will give you much more flexibility and you can do all these things very quick and faster. Okay, so let's quickly get into the Power BI interface. Since you all are new to Power BI, what I will do is I will also try to give you a background basic brief about the Power BI interface and the software. Okay, let me minimize these things and let me uh, show you when I click Power BI software. So what you can also do is, maybe quickly I can show you. You can go to Google, google.com, and then you can just type Microsoft mm, Power BI download. If you click this, there is the first link that comes from Microsoft. You can just click which language you are, and then you can just click download. Automatically the Power BI will download in your website, and then you can install it like a normal software how you will install. That's it, you're all good to once that is installed, there will be a icon like this in the bottom, or you can see, I will search, there is this Power BI icon, desktop application will be there. Once you double click that, you will see a screen like this for the first time. Okay, so now to start with, I'm starting with a blank report. Okay, when I click blank report, this is the interface what you will look. So the first interface what you are seeing here, sorry, just give me a minute, I'll pick up some water. Okay, sorry for that. So now you can see here, this is the Power BI interface or the environment to begin with. So now here what happens is, in the right hand sides there are certain visualization panel that is available here on the right hand side. Where my cursor is there, you can follow my cursor, and the top is the ribbon, like a typical any Microsoft Excel or with various options. Then you have various other headers within the ribbon, and then I will discuss some of these things today. And the view what you see at the center is basically your report view, or basically here the dashboard in Power BI, they call it as a report view. Okay, and here in the report view, all the dashboards we will be building it, and there is also something called as a data view, and there is something called as a model view, which we will see in the coming this one. And this is the basic interface. Next is, here there is one more thing that is called as two critical things what you should understand when it comes to Power BI. It is, the first thing is all about uh, the Power Query and the DAX. The DAX part I will explain later. Power Query is where you will do all your extract, transform and load. I explained at the start of the session. If you remember that for data cleaning purpose, you will have to do extra, or else what, I will go back to the notepad so that I can explain that once again to you. Just a second. Okay. Okay, so now you can see here, there is something called as I mentioned before, ETL process. ETL is basically extract. You have to extract the data first and then transform. That is the T in this ETL. Transform. What do we mean by transform is basically you have to, in this process, you will do the data cleaning and you will bring in only the relevant data for analysis. And then there is the third L. L is basically load. So now basically you will extract the data, transform the data and load the data. All these three activities in Power BI you will do in Power Query. Okay, so I will show you how you will do that. Once you do this in Power Query, what you will do is then you will bring this into the report environment, that is the home window what you saw that. Yes, exactly, Amoda. So that's what Amoda is asking a question. Can we use the Excel data in Power BI? We are going to exactly do that. We are going to use the same set of Excel data and to build the same dashboard in Power BI, and it will be very fast. I'll show you how it is. Okay. Before that, I'll just explain one thing. So in the Power Query window, you will do all these extract, cleanup and load the data into the report window, and in the report window, you will build your dashboard. Okay. This is the basics. I'll just show it to you in the Power BI also how you can do this. Okay. Yes. Is the Power BI screen visible to everyone? Yes, no, quick yes, no from someone. Yes, thanks, Samora. So now we will go back. We'll use the same set of datas. For that, here you can see at the home page, here you can see there is something called as a data. So these all are the different datas you can connect it to Power BI, and Power BI can be connected to 100 plus data sources. So you can see some of the major data sources are given here: SQL Server, One Lake, Data Hub, Excel, or you can the other major data sources are mentioned here. Any of these things you can select, and from there you can bring it here. So in for today's discussion, we will use the same 7 Excel workbooks which we used for our previous discussion. The same thing we will use it today also. So now I select Excel, it will come up with a pop-up. The data is there in downloads. I'll go into this workshop of today's. We go to the data set. So now here you can see, since we have already converted, so now what I do is okay, so now I selected the first one, the sales. I just click open. So there, for example, the data now a window will come, a navigator will come. It will show the data from the Excel. It will show in the Power BI. There is something called as transform. So if the data is already cleaned data, you can just load into, you will skip the transform, extract and transform part, and you are just loading into the report window. I mentioned ETL. In the ETL, extract, transform and load. So currently this step is basically extracting the data from Excel, and now if you want to do the cleaning, that is called as transform. So if you want to do the transform, you will click transform the data and it will take to a new window. This is called as Power Query Editor. This is one of the major part of the Power BI, that is the Power Query Editor, where your table is visible here, and then here you will do the cleanup. Okay, so I'll just briefly explain what this window is, this environment is all about. For example, on the right hand side you can see the okay, in the left hand side, if you see in the queries, there is table 1, whatever the table which we have brought in, that is there. In the center, whatever you see is that Excel data is visible here. Okay, and next on the top header there is different option. The first is about the data sources, and then there is something called as some editor. If you want to remove some column here in this Power Query, as I mentioned, now after extracting you will do the cleaning process. The cleaning could be you want to remove some columns, if you want to remove some rows, and if you want to split some of the columns, all these operations you can do that. And if you remember, you are some okay, so I think Nandakumar was asking that if we have to make the first row as a header, I will show how you can do here also. The same way you can do there as well. So here all these options are there. And there is something called as transform, that is called as transformation. There is something called as add column. I will quickly explain what these two things are all about. Before that, I will also want to tell on the right side. For example, right side, there is a table name. By default, whatever the table name that was given in your Excel is what is imported here. But if you want to change that name, you can change it to sales. So here I change it to sales. Click enter. Now left hand side also you can see it got updated as sales. Next, there is something called as applied steps. This is the beauty about this Power BI tool. Now, for example, whenever a data is brought in from a source, you do some steps. For example, I will explain the transform and add column, so it becomes easy for you to understand the applied steps later. For example, if I want, here the date is there. If I don't want the date, I want only the year of this date column, I can do a transformation, or I want to clean it. For example, I go into transform, I go into this date, I select it only to year. Now the date column, from there the month and the date is removed and only the year is now available. Okay, so that is the kind of cleanup or the transformation what we are doing to this date. But now what happened is, when I did this operation, there is a applied step that is added here. What it means is, whatever the steps I do, that gets added here. Okay, so now for example, okay, I don't want this extracted. If I don't want this step, I just remove it. It reverts back to the original thing. So that's the beauty about this Power Query and this thing. And for example, now I want this, instead of the same column, if I want it in a new column. Transform is basically if you want to do any changes to the given column. Within the column, if you want to change, if you want to replace this 2018 date with some other value, you can just enter that and you replace it. Similar to the replace operation what you do in an Excel. That is, transform in this Power Query window is, within the same column you will do the changes and no new row will be created. In the same column the value will be changed and it will be replaced. That is called as transform, like what I showed you right now. If I want add column, what I can do is, add column means I will do the transformation, but the data will be added as a new column. For example, I will show the same thing here. I go to year and add as a year. So now you see there is one year column that is added at the end, and there is also order date, old order date, so present as it is. I can also do, I have to just select a column. I go here, I go insert the month also at the end. So now you see year, month, everything is, I'm creating new column. Okay, so that's how you do that. For example, now if I want to go see the original table, I can go in the right side, applied steps. I can go on the top and I can see, okay, when I first loaded, what was the data, and after inserting the year, what happened, the year got inserted. If I want month, a year, what happened, I can see. If I want to remove something in between, I can remove this. Okay, year I don't want, I just click remove. It will ask remove, it will ask for confirmation. Now that year is removed out of this. So that's how you do the cleaning part. These all are some of the basic cleaning. There are some advanced cleaning also that is available. Next is, now that once this data is available within this Power Query, previously I brought in the data from the Power BI main interface. I can also add some more data from this. From here itself I can add Excel. For example, I will bring in the products table. Okay, you can see the next table gets added. So now I will tell products. Let me do it quickly in the interest of time. And next is third one is, and the next is I will quickly bring all the 7 data types like how we did. But when you are bringing the data from the Power Query window, you will not have this transform because you are already in the transforming interface, that is the Power Query. That's why it's just loading the data straight away into this window. Okay. And product categories, we'll make it short, categories. And next you go to the product subcategories. Subcategories. And then the last table is the customers table. So here customers. Okay. So here, since the data is almost of a good quality, and the beauty about this tool is by default when you this was the source data when you brought in. Okay, by default what it happens is it changes the data type, it auto detects the data type. Okay, this is date type, this is a text type. You can see there are different types of data types. It assumes itself as the different data type. For example, you can see the types, it will assume there are different data types like decimal number, whole number, percentage, date and time, date, text. The Power BI will automatically detect, okay, this is means date. You can see this symbol is for date, ABC means text, 123 means whole number. And next you can see we add the sales, right? No, in the product page we had this product price and the product cost. So this is 1.2 means it is decimal type. So Power BI has a capability to auto detect what is the data type and it will change itself. You can see here there is already a step already done by Power BI saying that it has already changed the data type. So that's the beauty about this, and like this you can do multiple other operations here in the form of cleanup and all those things. So now in the interest of time, what I will do is I will quickly load all these. Now we have extracted, we have transformed the data. Okay, since the data, Excel data is of a good quality, I need not do any cleanup or anything. I can just load it into the main interface. When I load it, what will happen is for the first time when you loading or whenever you are adding a new data into this interface, all these data will be loading like this. It will take a couple of seconds to load into this main Power BI interface. So once the data is loaded, you can see there is a data panel that is gets enabled on the right side. Okay, all the 7 data is now visible here. This is the visualization palette which we will be using in the next couple of minutes. And now let's go to, we saw this is the report window. So now it says build your visuals with your data. When you first time opened, this will be different because now you have the data brought in, because previously the data was not available. And next, this is the data view. Now here you can see this is as good as an Excel data view. This is the next view. First is the report view where we will be building the dashboard. The next is the table view. In the table view, you can see all this data whatever we loaded in the Excel format. There is something, this is the view where we call it as a model view. This is something called you can see here, this is the same similar window what you saw in the Power Pivot. Okay, and there is also a beauty about this is it also tries to establish a connection between all these data by itself. Okay, that's the beauty about this Power BI tool. It most of the analysis or the activities it does by itself. That's the beauty about this. And when if you want to see what is the connection that has been built here, Okay, some of the connections are automatically built and some of the connections are not built by default. We will build that one. Okay, so now that you will do in the model view what I mentioned. There are three views. One is report view, table view and model view as I mentioned. Now coming here, so there is some relation established between these two tables. Let's quickly click this. You can see that product key and product key are correctly connected already between these two. And next is here, and between these two tables again the product key and the product key are connected between this what do you call, the sales and the these two table. And next between these two table, customer key is correctly connected. So that's the fantastic thing. Next is you have the territories and you also have the okay. So now if you see here, there is a connection established between, okay, for this connection to establish automatically between two tables, you should have the column name of both the tables same. In this case you can see product category key and product category key, the name of the column is same. That's why it was able to connect automatically. So it connects automatically based on the name. So now here territory, it didn't connect correctly because in the sales table the territory key was just territory key, whereas in the territories table it was sales territory key. So what you could do is you just drag it like this, like how you did it in Excel. The same way you can drag it here, that gets connected here by default. Okay, just you can connect and click save. The relationship is now established between all the tables. Okay, clear? So now modeling, so the modeling activity is already done. So now let us go into building this dashboard. So we did the modeling. The next step is the data analysis. The beauty about this data analysis in this tool is there is a DAX, that is called as data analysis expression. And some of this data analysis where we did the pivot table and bringing pivot different data from different table, Power BI does it very intelligently. I will show you how it is. Okay, so now for example I will quickly make some designs for our dashboard. For example, I will quickly populate this saying retail sales dashboard, and I will increase the font size to 24, or I will reduce to 20, and I will make it middle, I will make it bold, and I will also change the background. For background, I'll change the background to some light color. Okay, so now this heading is created. So now there we have to manually create some shapes and then insert the values and all those things. This Power BI is also not only a data analysis tool, it is also has a all the data visualization can be done here at a quick pace, because all these data visuals are readily available. For example, you have all the bar charts, you all also have the column charts, you also have the line charts, and you also have some cards. So for card is what I'm trying to do that. Okay, so now though I established connections between, but in the sales table I don't have the sales value readily available. So that is where now I have to use something called as data analysis expression, which is also called as DAX. Okay, let me quickly do that here. So the DAX is of two type. I can do quick measure in the as a at a column level. I can do that measure. For example, we also mentioned at column level I can add individual order wise. If I want to know the sales and profit, I can do that. I could also do it at a overall level. I need not create individual column level like how we did in Excel. I will quickly do and show you both the things. So here what I'm doing is the sales equal to I have to multiply the order quantity. Say I just type the table name. The table name is sales is the table name, and within the table whatever you see here in the bracket is the column name. The column name is the quantity into I have to multiply it with related, because that the data is there in the other table. So I have to use the related like how we used in Excel. I use the related, and from the related what I go to product, and I bring a product price, and this will give me my sales value. You can see the values now entered. This using some formulas, using some expressions to build connection and get a value, that is called as data analysis expression. Now what I did is I did it at a column level. I can do it at a cumulative total level where I need not create these columns also. Maybe quickly to show the similarity of what we did in the other one. So I will also bring in the product cost, which is equal to sales. I have to just type here. Okay, here also this is similar to the formula bar what we see in Excel. Here also you have this expression bar, sales order quantity into related product cost. Enter the product cost comes here. So now if I want a profit, for each order, profit equal to sales column within the sales minus the profit column within the product cost. If I subtract these two, I get a profit. You can see the profit for each order is now populated. Okay, so now I go here, I will be able to quickly, I click the sales, I selected the card visual from this visualization palette, and from there I just go click in the whichever the table that I want the total. I just click profit. What it does is it automatically sums all together and it gives me the data. That's the beauty about this tool. And if I want the profit, what I can quickly do is I can remove the profit, and I can I want to first bring the sales. I will first bring the sales, and next I will bring the profit here. You can see the profit is also now brought in here. Next, if I want the number of orders, all those things I can quickly if I want to count the number of orders like what we did there, we could do that. For example, I go remove this same card which I am using. I can go just click this order number. Okay, if I click the order number, by default it shows the first order number. What I do is I go and tell the tool to count the number of orders, and if I want to go product, how many products we have sold. Okay, so that was order number. So now if I want to go count how many products have been sold, I will click here. It brings the total order quantity. Okay, so below it shows what it is. And then if you want to change the title, you can just go change the title here. Whatever you see below is basically a label. It's just a label below what it shows. If you can have it, or you can switch it off, you can do, for example, any visuals. Once you select the visuals, if you want to change some property of the visual, that is available on this middle one. Okay, so that is basically you're formatting your visual. And then now here I can have a I can have a category label, or else I can go have it a title saying total sales. Okay, so I can have a like this. I can do some more formatting of the title, something like I bold it, I bring it to the middle, I create a line, I also create a border to this. I also create a visual border with this. So now this looks very nice. So what I will do is same way I will do this for everything. It becomes faster for me, because in the interest of time I will try to do it faster. And background, I'm changing background, visual background I will enable, and I will make it as a rounded corners, and I will also mm, go to the title. I will make it bold, center, and I will also insert a divider. And now quickly one by one I will try to add the title. So now this was the total profit, and then this was the total orders, and this was total products that were sold. So now you can see how nice it looks. So now after this, here I could also try to now put the graphs. For example, if I want to put a table, we previously created a table for countries, right? Country is there in territory, country, and then if you want to look at this, you can see I have to just go to that table. Sorry, select the country, and I have to just select, come back to the profit or the sales, wherever is there, in this case sales. I click here, the total value is now getting populated here. You can see how this becomes very fast in Power BI. Okay, so this is how the same thing we did it there. So this we were able to do it faster. So this is sales. I will change the heading, as instead of sum of sales, I will just make it sales and profit. And then for this also I'll just quickly I'll try to bring in some separation. I'm trying to do this all these activities through the panel given above. Here there is something, when I select that column, some column tools comes in, and then I can separate this. You can see this values have come, and then quickly I will edit, give some title. I'll do some what do you call, quick editing and formatting, so that it becomes it looks nice. You can see I've done this, and I also now quickly go and add a title to this saying country wise sales. You bold it. I will also create a divider, and I will also create a border to this, so that this will look very nice. You can see here very sorry about me coughing. Okay, so now we brought the country wise the same way. If I want to have it here in Power BI, since it has got a very good interface, we can get it. So if I want to look it at the continent wise also, I can get that continent wise also. So you can see, and then you can change this. And next, we also created a table for product category also, right? So just you can copy the existing table, and you can edit that here. Just I want to remove the continent, and I will bring the product type. The product type is there in the product. product key and the product name. So okay, if I want to see product, all the product name, I can see that here, or else I could also see it at individual product category wise. Also the product category is there in subcategory categories, and here I can bring it category name, and here I got it for the category as well. Maybe I will quickly adjust all these things so that it will look very nice. Okay, okay, you can see here this is not continent wise, this is category wise. I just go change the title category wise, and then you have this each product wise, sales, each product. Okay, pardon my spelling, I corrected it. Okay, and now I will also try to add two charts. We built a chart previously, for example, for month wise sales and profit. Okay, so I don't want to go with this, I will go with this. So you can see, you can do it at year wise, or else if you want to bring it quarter wise also, you can do this. And then you can have yeah, you can see yeah, you can see now this is the same graph we had made there, and then here you can see the YOY and quarter year on year or quarter on quarter also you can see the sales here. Okay, so quickly let me edit the title also, and border. So you can see here, so all these things are done, and then you could also add anything else if you want. For example, product, we can also add a subcategory one also. If you want to see it subcategory wise, I will just remove the product name, I go into the subcategory. See how I am able to do into multiple different tables, and then I am able to get the data. So that's the beauty about this tool. Actually, you will be able to navigate and do all these things at so ease. Now here the last thing is the slicers, which I showed you. Now for example, here we can have slicer for say product category name. The this is a slicer. If I select bikes, all these data is filtered for bikes alone. If I select it for accessories, accessories alone. If I select for component, there is no component that is sold. If it's cloth, so cloth alone will be visible. So and that's the beauty about this entire thing. So now this slicer, if you don't want to see options like this, if you want to make it as a drop down, you can go and do it in as a drop down. Okay, and here I can just mention the title as category, and then I can, so like this I can do all the different I can, like this I can add multiple filters, multiple filters like this. The same dashboard what we spoke the other place, here also we have it. Well, just for the sake of completeness, I will add, for example, one for what do you call, I will bring one filter for subcategory type, one next filter for, I will remove, since I've created one, I'm trying to duplicate with the existing one country, and the next one is the continent. Okay, I'll just try to change the headings also so that it becomes clear. Continent, I'm just going clicking and I'm just changing the title alone in the interest of time. Country, and then you can this was on subcategory, I guess. Yes, it was subcategory. So now you can see all these are selected, and there is one last thing which I wanted to do is I will bring in clear all slicers, or the same thing, the filters. If I want to clear some filters, I have this. So this how it looks like. This is what a business leader will be very interested to look at. And now here you can very well see, if I want to select the bike, the data of bike is visible. If I want to see accessories, it is visible. And if I want to look at components or clothing, I can filter. I can also filter it at say, if I want to see for any one country, clothing in Canada or in France, and then if I want to look at gloves within the clothing, all these filtering, I can keep filtering it like anything, step by step. That's the beauty about this entire Power BI dashboard. And if I want to clear, I just click clear all slicers and I get the data. And that's how you build a dashboard in Power BI. And and whenever I want this is built in my desktop. So now if I want to share this with someone, I told you need a Power BI service license. Once you have that service license, you will click publish, and that will be hosted in the cloud, and then from the cloud you can share it with any other people. So that's how in the organization they do. In my organization also, I build these dashboards, I publish it, and I share it with all the business leader and the other employees in the organization, whoever are relevant. So now they need not go and they did not clean the Excel, they did not do anything. All these data is cleaned, filtered, they are able to see in a better visual. They are able to, with this data, they will be able to take better business decision. So that is in short how you build a dashboard in Power BI. I guess I was fast in Power BI, but nevertheless, I would also like to share a thing that one minute. Yes. So this is our objective today was to show you how you can build dashboards in Excel, and you could also build such dashboards in what do you call Power BI. And the same way, what we have done is we have developed a course where uh, just give me a minute. I'll just quickly see if I can pull out that course related material. Just give me a minute. Ouch. Yes. So what we are planning to do is we are planning to teach this entire what we explained today is one very small parts, but this we would like to teach in a very structured way. And I will brief about this course. So the objective is we are planning to teach the data analytics course. Okay, it will be a 6 weeks course where you will be able to go through the 6 different tools. One is SQL, R, Python, Power BI, Excel, basically advanced Excel, plus AI, how you can use AI within the Excel, and also there is another data analysis to Tableau. So this also is combined. So this entire thing we are packaging it as a complete course, or if you want any one of the parts of that course also, Arivu Pro is offering. Maybe quickly I will explain you about the course. If you are interested, you can look into that as well. Maybe I'll show you what that course is all about. You can see here, this is basically the data analytics mastery course, and these all are the tools that will be covered. That's what I mentioned. Tableau, Python, sorry, I missed, yeah, Python, I mentioned Python, SQL, R, Excel, Power BI. So, what do you call? This is the training academy. Arivupru is in the last 7 years they have been training thousands of candidates, and data analytics is where now we are newly venturing into, and we want to teach you the complete spectrum of data analytics. If you are interested, you can look into this brochure. We will share it with you as well, this brochure. So the objective is that we just don't want to teach only a small parts. The reason we have bundled it into a course is because we wanted to teach you the complete roadmap of the data analysis, because as I explained, it has got various parts. Sometimes the analysis what we did in Power BI, it will not be sufficient, because you have to do some advanced analysis where you will use Python in those aspects. So all these things you will be learning in a very structured way, and then here we will also try to assist you in terms of finding some suitable interns and all, internship and all those things. At these all are the different roles as a data analyst you can take up. You can just have a glance once you can get that. So the objective is you will have overall 160 hours of learning, both practical and physical. And also you can see we will provide placement support, internship opportunities, flexible learning. We at the end of the course you will also have a digital certificates from this is a testimonial certificates here. So these certificates will be issued. And with respect to the course syllabus, you have a detailed syllabus. You can have a look at that about each and every course. And then some of the leading companies which is hiring the data analyst currently are these all are the companies. And this is the profile of the faculty. I will be teaching the Power BI, Excel and the Tableau part. And there is another faculty, Manvinder Singh, he will be teaching the SQL, R and the Python. So these all are some of the photos of the past students and the testimonials which you can look at. That one, and the duration of the course and the weekend batches, all these things are available. And if you want to do the complete course, it is possible. If you want to do any one of the specific parts of the course, or else you want the Power BI, Excel, Tableau, or the SQL or Python, so you have the flexibility of that as well. And you can the contact details are mentioned. You will be these brochures will be shared, and they will reach out to you to share the details. And if you are interested, you can connect with the team member to share your willingness. And also one another thing what I would also wanted to share is the last bit, this one. So now whatever we teach in the course is in case of Power BI, we will train you how you can clear Microsoft's 300 exam. So if you attend this course, you will be able to attend this exam yourself, which is Power BI data analyst exam, which has a very good industrial credibility. And then you clear this exam and you can easily get onto a data analyst role. In the same way, Excel, you can take the assessment. These These exams are outside, so you, after the course, you can take this exam. This exam will cost 4,000 rupees, and you can finish the certification, and with that certification you can go and search the job related to Power BI. And today you go search in LinkedIn, you get a lot of Power BI data analyst openings. In the same way, Excel also, you can write Microsoft Excel's related certification as well. So that's in short we wanted to cover during the workshop. And if you have any questions, I will be happy to take those questions.